Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Elroy District. My name is Dave, and today's video, we're going to talk about plants that have the color red or burgundy as one of their main features. And you'll know a little bit more what I'm talking about when I show you the plants. But first of all, I need to say I can't really project my voice right now because I do have some type of cold or flu. And yeah, it's been a horrible experience. I'm kind of messed up all in here. Most horrible part is I've just been waking up real sweaty and shiny and looking like James Brown on stage. And I can't stand that. But nevertheless, I'm here to pump out a video, and I've been, being productive even while sick. I'm outside working on my backyard, so I'll be able to show you all what I've been doing with that in near future videos. But something exciting, we got a special guest in this video. We got a special guest coming to help me out because I need some help right now. But for those who are following me, I have a new plant friend and who has a YouTube channel, and I definitely want y'all to stick around and just check him out if you don't already know. So let's get into it. So the red or burgundy pigment in plants is called anthocyanin. Some plants, they have it as it's a genetic trait where they have maybe a red or burgundy underside. And then, other plants like Hoya, a lot of succulents, they have that red or burgundy pigment as they produce it when under stress. For instance, this Hoya, what is this? Hoya macrophylla. This new leaf, now that we're in summertime and it's been a lot of bright, harsh light, this new leaf came out very red. It produced a lot of anthocyanin within this new leaf because of the harsh light. So when you talk about red or burgundy plants, sometimes if the red is on the underside, it's doing the opposite of what this plant is doing, which is it's trying to capture more light by putting the red on the underside so that when the light shines down on the surface of a leaf, it'll kind of stop it so that it can capture and photosynthesize more of the light. If it's on the top surface, all that red is on the top surface, it's trying to protect it from the harsh light, So hopefully that makes sense. I've always thought that a lot of these plants that have red on the underside, I felt like they didn't need a lot of light because that red underside is supposed to help them capture in more light. But I found that not to be true. There's a lot of dark colored and red colored plants that actually need more light than we may think, So let's go through some of these plants. So in comes this big Begonia maculata. Okay, so the main feature going on with this plant, obviously, is polka dots on this begonia, but if you can see up there, the undersides are very burgundy or even red. So I had a lot of misconceptions about this plant when I first used to care for it. So years ago when I first got one, I used to think that this plant was a low light plant. I mean, just look how exotic it looks. You think that it's a low light plant, but I'll tell you that the reason why I was able to grow this one, what is this, about 3 feet tall, is because I put it outside with very bright light. Even some morning direct sun for this plant. I automatically think that plants that have these red undersides, I feel as if they take low light. And, they need all this high humidity and, it's just like, this is a tropical plant from Brazil. But no, this plant is outside in bright light, dry weather. I just make sure I water it every day, you know? So I guess I'm hitting the theme here. Like it's a lot of misconceptions that, you know, a lot of these darker colored red plants, that they take low light. I think they do a lot better, and all of that, you know, the red comes out more when you put it in the bright light, you know. So I don't recommend keeping a Begonia maculata in a terrarium. I don't even recommend trying to, you know, put it in a low light level of your house. You'll be surprised that this plant can take a lot of light. And I think it needs it, because you'll see that in lower light, the backs of these leaves will not be as vibrant and red. As soon as you give it a lot of light, or if you put it on your patio, put it outside where it's getting a lot of natural ambient light and even some direct sun in the morning or late, you know, during sunset hours, if it's getting some of that kind of sun, I feel like it will definitely be fine, and it will adjust quickly to that type of environment. But, you know, it'll be bright red because this plant loves to catch all of that light. And what that red in the back of the leaf is doing is just, you know, stopping the light from penetrating all the way through, so that this leaf can just capture all of that light. Begonia maculata. All right, let's get into the alocasia. So this is Alocasia cuprea red secret. This also, boom, has a maroon colored or burgundy underside. Once again, this alocasia needs a lot of bright light, some direct sun even. Even though the undersides are red, this is called red secret. That's one of the common names for this alocasia. You need to give it bright light if you want it to have the color that it's supposed to have. I feel like when you put these in lower light, they will start to turn green. Yes. Like even the underside won't even come in as burgundy or red. It will start to, you know, turn green. You know, the more light that you give these, the more you'll get like the iridescent shine to them. And that red will come through. So this is an older stressed out leaf. It's growing something new right here. This gap in the middle is because this plant flowered twice and I cut the flowers off. After I cut the flowers off, it started to put out a lot of these babies. So I have a couple more pots of you know, smaller cupreas upstairs. But as you can see, the red will come through the front of the leaf when the leaf is fresh. And you'll get a lot of texture and iridescent and shiny, you know, things going on. But this is a cool plant that has that red feature. Alocasia cuprea. All right, so let's just, you know, slide on over to Chi-Town and check out my boy Sean Knight. His YouTube channel is called Green Man Grows 7. And let me tell you, I'm a fan of his YouTube channel because this man knows how to grow plants. He knows exactly what he's talking about. And, you know, most of the time when I watch videos, I want to see somebody who knows what they're talking about. So, man, he has this one video on his channel where it's like a plant meditation video where he filmed a lot of plants at this botanical garden, and that's one of my go-to videos when, you know, I'm on my break at work or whatever the case may be. And man, he has some good content. So Sean, what's up, bro? What you got going on?
What's up, everybody? So my name is Sean Knight from Chicago, Illinois. I want to thank Dave for allowing me to feature one of my rare and exotic plants on his YouTube channel. My YouTube channel and my Instagram, check me out, Green Man Grow 7. So today, this plant right here is the philodendron red brown. I absolutely love this thing. This philodendron has provided me such great joy. Look at how this beauty is. What makes it exotic for me? First of all, just the look of it. But look how the stem has this curvature to it. And so the way, the growing pattern of it, and now that I have it staked and it's just going to continue to go up, it's just art. It's just beautiful. It just does everything I needed to do as a plant in my collection. It is captivating to me. I hope that what I'm seeing in real time can be translated over the camera. This leaf here is green, but there is variation of burgundy here. See, in this little area here, and then here in the veining, but here too. And then look at the underneath. That's just beautiful to me. And then the other thing is that then you have this leaf that's slightly darker than this leaf with a little bit of that burgundy variegation in it. And then this leaf is darker than both of these, as well as this leaf in its burgundy state, how deep, rich burgundy that is. So I'm just captivated by this climber. This philodendron is a part of the Pink Princess. It is a hybrid plant that I received. So the two plants is, one we don't know, and the other is the Pink Princess. And that's how you get some of the lighter, if you can see here, lighter variegation in the leafing. So that's where you get the stem. But it's another plant, and the nursery that I got it from, they just couldn't tell me what the other plant that made and produced this plant. But it is captivating to me. I just absolutely love the variation of the colors. I absolutely just love how you have that burgundy petiole and stem, but each one of the leaves is giving me something different. And because and based on the climbing and the way that the plant is growing, it gives you that exotic look, something that's captivating, that's different than others, not better than others, but absolutely different than others. And so the soil medium, the water requirements, and fertilization for this plant is the same that you would find with any philodendron. During the growing season, I am making sure that each and every time I water the plant, I'm giving it nutrients. I'm not trying to over fertilize because I don't want to burn the plant up, the roots, and cause harm to the plant. But because this plant has such a deep and stocky portion of the plant as it grows, as the petioles growing and the leaves, it needs enough nutrients to sustain itself while also adding nutrients to allow it to continue to thrive and grow. So I just absolutely love this plant. And I want to thank my brother Dave for allowing me to be able to come on and feature. I'm going to shoot it back to him, and we're going to see what he has as an exotic and rare plant. Peace.
So this next plant that I have is the philodendron red emerald. So, Sean, this plant is related to the plant that you just shown. It is a type of philodendron arubescens, which they, use that plant to make the Pink Princess and a lot of these philodendrons that look similar to the Pink Princess. This is probably closer to the original philodendron arubescens. The scientific name for this plant is philodendron arubescens, and they did use this to make the Pink Princess, White Princess, and all of these type of plants. But the red feature on this one is in the stem and in the cataphyll. And I think that's where you get that red emerald name from. And, as you can see, I propagated this plant. I made a cut right there. And if you don't already know, if you cut one of these plants, it will bleed red. The roots are also red. But this is the red emerald. It is a very vigorous grower. It can withstand a lot of light also. And it's a trusty plant. I have like, the top cut is getting really big. And this is something that I want to try growing it in normal outdoor conditions. If I were to plant it in the above ground planter, I want to see how it will do, because this is a trooper. It's pretty tough. Okay, so one thing I want to mention is this Ficus elastica, aka rubber tree. So this has a feature with, burgundy underside and like a red stem, and then the cataphyll, when the new leaf emerges, puts out this very bright cherry red sheath on it when the new leaf emerges. But overall, it's like a dark colored rubber tree. I grow this one outside, that's why it's, pretty dirty. But one thing I wanted to mention about this plant, it's a dark colored plant that has like, a burgundy or a red feature or hue to it. And you would think that this plant needs low light, but that is not the case. So let's take another version of the same plant. Look at this. This is the Ficus tunica. Look at all of that crazy variegation that's going on with it. So you would think that this plant needs more light than this. No, that's not the case. This dark colored plant needs a little bit of direct sun and a lot of bright light in comparison to this one that has all this variegation on it. It is true. It is true. Like I have, 4 different versions of rubber trees, and I'll tell you that this dark colored one will start to decline, and it will not do well unless you put it in very bright light, where it's getting, 6+ hours of light. This plant I can give, some indoor indirect light, and it'll pretty much stay happy. But don't ever think that just because this one is dark that it is a low light plant. When it comes to the Ficus elastica, the dark one is not a low light plant. And I wanted to mention that because, like I said, red and burgundy kind of confuses us on how we think the care is supposed to be on some of these plants. I have yet to run into a low light plant that is red or burgundy. So it's very interesting that I'm bringing this up now because I tried to think about it. There was no low light plants that have red or burgundy, other than maybe I was going to say, no, even with a lot of the philodendrons, they will look a lot better if you give them very bright light, no matter if it's Dark Lord or, any of those darker philodendron plants. They just look better if you give it bright light, Same thing with black cardinal. It has like that purple burgundy-ish color, all of that. So just had to mention that about these two. So last but certainly not least, we have the philodendron Congo Rojo. So this plant is definitely bringing a lot of Rojo to the party. Look at that. I don't care what y'all say, I like this plant. I know a lot of people don't like the rosette type philodendrons, but I actually do. They do better outside as far as, conserving space, but they do well inside too. And I actually like the Rojo Congo because the first time I seen it, I was at like a friend's house, and then they had like a breakfast nook or something like that, and they just had this big Congo Rojo like sitting on the table as like a centerpiece, and it just looked really nice, and it had that red underside like this, And another thing I'll say, I'm glad that I have this plant because look at this. You may think those are growth points, but those are actually flower buds. So we have a flower forming right here, another flower forming right here, and right there. So this is gonna be my first philodendron to flower. And you know, I'm gonna save the pollen. You can actually take a lot of your other philodendrons and cross it with like a philodendron like this. And a lot of the times, like if you were to take a crawling philodendron and cross it with one of these, most likely it will stay a crawling philodendron. It wouldn't turn out to be like a rosette philodendron like this when you cross it with one of the, you know, more viney philodendron. So the fact that I'll be able to make some hybrids off of a plant like this, I feel like it's cool. I mean, if you think about it, there's a plant called Florida Bronze that also has that red feature. That Florida Bronze is pretty much a Florida Green crossed with a black cardinal. Black cardinal is very similar to this. It's like a rosette type philodendron that's, you know, black and red or black and burgundy. So, hey, what if I were to take Florida Ghost and cross it with this right here? Like, what will it turn out to be? It would be very interesting. So I'm glad that I'll have these outside. And as they flower and whatnot, maybe I can cross a philodendron if I can get another one of these philodendrons to flower, you know. But we'll see. It makes it all the more interesting. So that's all I got for you. This is a Philodendron Congo Rojo, and you know, I just shown you plants that have a red or burgundy feature, and a lot more in store. Stay tuned. Elroy District, and I am out.